The reverse income tax credit has been launched, and we have the information on the application process, who are eligible for this benefit and the requirements. If you're earning below $3 million annually, then stick around for the details. Also in the show, tips to ensure a successful year for university students and how the new social housing program has been impacting lives. You're watching Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson.
Breast cancer affects millions of women and men each year. Yes, even males. As we celebrate Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we encourage you to screen for the disease. This includes self-examinations and mammograms. Remember, early detection saves lives.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, October 3, 2024. Over 580,000 taxpayers will benefit from the Reverse Income Tax Credit Initiative, which was officially launched by the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service yesterday. This is being done in collaboration with Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ. Under the initiative, eligible employed or self-employed persons who are earning less than $3 million annually will receive a one-off grant of $20,000. Payments will be made through remittance companies. These individuals must be contributing to the system through Education Tax, National Housing Trust, and National Insurance Scheme, NIS, statutory deductions. Speaking at Wednesday's launch, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke emphasized the significance of the initiative in addressing income disparity in Jamaica.
We chose the threshold to be $3 million because we know that even persons who earn over 1.7 can have a disproportionate experience from the period of high inflation. So to all of the administrative clerks and all of the store clerks and merchandisers and inventory clerks, to the security guards, to those who work in quick service restaurants, those who work as waiters and servers and bartenders, those who, as long as you're filing your NIS, if you work in the home, those who work for government.
Minister Clarke says taxpayers are required to meet the annual income tax filing or payment requirements for the 2023 year of assessment by August 31 this year. TAJ Commissioner General Ainsley Powell says the online registration system is user-friendly and the validation process will be done automatically to determine if persons are eligible. He says customer care support has been put in place for persons who may have challenges to ensure that we can have a workaround. Mr. Powell said the TAJ is prepared to handle the anticipated volume of applicants.
By March 31st, everything has to be wrapped up. So we'll be having some cutoff applications, and we are using the 2nd of January. And then we'll ensure that we can complete processing for payment before March 31st. That is important because of the whole financial arrangements around it and the approval for payment.
For more information and assistance regarding the Reverse Income Tax Credit Program, persons are encouraged to participate in upcoming sensitization sessions and outlined webinars by the TAJ. Eligible taxpayers are also urged to call 888-TAXBACK. That's 888-829-2225, or visit the TAJ website at jamaicatax.gov.jm. The House of Representatives has passed the Judicature Rules of Court Amendment Act 2024, which will facilitate membership of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, on the Rules Committee of the Supreme Court. The legislation was piloted by Justice Minister Delroy Chuck in Parliament on Tuesday. The move will enhance the DPP's ability to influence the drafting of court procedures, particularly following the recent granting of appeal rights.
In addition to the rules of court that are being prepared in respect of the DPP's right to appeal, Mr. Speaker, there are other rules of court that are being contemplated that may have an impact on the office of the DPP. For instance, rules relating to criminal case management and digital audio recording in criminal matters. Similarly, the DPP has no opportunity to offer contribution towards the preparation of these rules of court as a result of the exclusion from the committee.
The bill also proposes empowering the Minister of Justice to amend the schedule of the Principal Act more efficiently.
The inclusion of such a provision facilitates the timely amendment of schedules, especially in matters of urgency. The absence of such a provision, Mr. Speaker, results in a more time-consuming process for the resolution of urgent matters.
The Ministry of Finance will soon issue a public invitation for applications for an approved Integrated Resort Development AIRD order in the St. James Geographical Zone. This announcement follows the Ministry's decision to deny an AIRD order to a previous applicant for the same zone. Portfolio Minister Dr. Nigel Clark made the disclosure during a statement to Parliament recently. He noted that since launching application requests in 2021, 2 proposals had been received, one for a combined zone of Hanover and Westmoreland and another for St. James. In 2023, the license for the combined zone was granted after the applicant met the necessary requirements outlined by the enterprise team. However, the application for St. James was not approved.
Upon review of those responses and all relevant material, the enterprise team determined that the applicant had not provided sufficient evidence to satisfy the enterprise team that the applicant had met the mandatory financing disclosures required by statute in relation to the applicant's proposed project. The enterprise team has therefore advised me against awarding an order to the second applicant.
An integrated resort development must have a minimum of 1,000 hotel rooms, of which 500 must be luxury rooms. Additionally, the development must have a minimum capital investment of $450 million.
These luxury developments, Madam Speaker, are not limited to hotels, but villas and spas and recreational facilities, shopping centers, and casino gaming. And in order to uphold the integrity of the process, we have to set clear criteria in an application process, and doesn't matter who the bidders are or what their level of support may be. If they don't come through the doors of the requirements of the application, they will not be successful.
A detailed progress report will be presented to Cabinet on Monday, October 7, for the Shared Prosperity Through Accelerated Improvement to Our Road Network (SPARK) program. The $45 billion initiative is aimed at upgrading critical road infrastructure and water systems. 2 rounds of negotiations have been conducted and contracts are now in the final stages of completion for work to begin shortly. SPARK is a Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation project that's being administered by the National Works Agency. To execute the programs, partnerships have been forged with the Ministries of Finance and Local Government, as well as the National Water Commission. Minister with responsibility for works, Robert Morgan, says SPARK is projected to start in the coming weeks and is expected to continue through March 2027. The initial phase will focus on rehabilitating community and parochial roads, while more complex structural upgrades will follow in subsequent phases in collaboration with local contractors. The first ever infant nursery for incarcerated expectant mothers is now open at the South Camp Adult Correctional Center in Kingston. Minister of State in the Ministry of National Security, Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, initiated the $13 million project earlier this year. The facility includes 3 rooms furnished with cribs, beds, toys, and feeding chairs, along with a wash area featuring changing tables and bathroom facilities. Additionally, it has 2 ramps for wheelchair access and will accommodate 3 incarcerated mothers and their children. During the recent ribbon-cutting ceremony, Minister Cuthbert Flynn shared that the nursery aligns with the ministry's efforts to create a rehabilitative environment for inmates.
This nursery is a testament to our government's commitment to modernizing our correctional system and ensuring that even within these walls, there is a space for compassion, for dignity, and there is a space for growth. This is not just brick and mortar. It is also a signal of our vision for a more inclusive and humane correctional service.
And finally, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malahou-Fort is calling on newly appointed lay magistrates in St. James to demonstrate respect towards their fellow citizens as they carry out their public duties. Her remarks came during a recent ceremony in Montego Bay where 30 justices of the peace, JPs, received certificates of completion for their training in criminal law and procedure. Minister Malahou-Fort says the lay magistrates court serves as a crucial foundation of the justice system.
The lay magistrates court is at the very base of the court system. And sometimes we believe that because of the level at which we serve, the real issues are left to those who are higher up. But big things are made up of small parts and small things.
For his part, Custis of St. James, Bishop Conrad Pitkin, urged JPs to prioritize respect for the public as their performance is directly linked to their duties.
You are required to display a high level of decorum that is befitting the office you now hold and how you will be viewed by the public. Having the respect of the public is crucial in the execution of your duties as lay magistrates.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Earlier this week, the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service launched the Reverse Income Tax Credit Program. Through the program, Jamaicans who earn less than $3 million annually can access a one-off grant of $20,000. However, beneficiaries must meet specific criteria. Here is how it works.
Are you a registered taxpayer who is earning less than $3 million annually? If yes, you could be eligible for $20,000 under the Government of Jamaica's Reverse Income Tax Credit. How can you take advantage of this opportunity and where can you apply? Hi, I'm Shaquille Rochester Shorter and welcome to Finance Matters. Joining us today to tell us more about the Reverse Income Tax Credit is Mr. Bevon Sinclair, Chief Technical and Tax Dispute Resolution Advisor at Tax Administration Jamaica. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow the Ministry of Finance on Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, TikTok, and now Threads to see all the episodes and highlights. Mr. Sinclair, thank you for coming on our program today.
Thank you for having me, Shaquille.
So what is the Reverse Income Tax Credit?
The Reverse Income Tax Credit was a program that was announced by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clarke, in his budget presentation on March 12 of 2024. The whole objective of the program is to encourage the on-time filing and payment of statutory contributions by individuals. Dr. Clarke at the time indicated that the whole program was designed to facilitate low-income earners in providing a modest relief and also persons who are earning minimum wage to benefit from the program. The program is going to be operationalized by TAJ and it is fully online. We'll be leveraging our RAISE tax system in order to provide for the application portal and also to provide all the information that the applicant will need in order to determine their eligibility and the things that are required in order for them to make a successful application.
Okay, so Mr. Sinclair, you touched on eligibility. Who is able to apply for this?
The persons that are eligible are self-employed individuals, employees, including domestic workers and persons who contribute from a pension. What we would have indicated, and the minister would have indicated, is that these persons must be earning less than $3 million per annum. In relation to the self-employed persons and the employed persons, we are looking at your returns that would have been filed for calendar year 2023. Those returns must be within TAJ's system by August 31st, 2024. In relation to the domestic employers and domestic workers, what we are using is the NIS stamp card information for year of assessment 2022, and they must be submitted by August 31st, 2024.
Okay, Mr. Sinclair, so I know you mentioned that applications are on TAJ's website, but are you able to tell us step by step how a person can apply?
Persons can use either a mobile phone, a laptop, or a desktop in order to make the application. The application will be housed on TAJ's portal, that is jamaicatax.gov.jm, and the persons must have some requisite information before they attempt to make the application. Your TRN, your tax registration number, is important, email address, and a telephone contact. You may also need your banking information depending on the mode of payment that you choose. We'll be using both remittance services and banks in order to make the payment to the applicants. If you are using a financial institution, then you have to have the banking information in terms of the branch that you bank, the name on the account, the account number, etc., in order to facilitate the payments being made to your account. If you're using a remittance agency, you need to know what location that you are going to collect the funds.
So in collecting my funds, will that money be taxed?
No, there's no tax, Shaquille, in respect of this payment. Just to remind you that it is a give back in respect of contributions that these persons would have made to the development of Jamaica. And as such, there is no tax associated with the payment. The government of Jamaica has indicated that there's a one-time payment of $20,000, and that is what will be credited to your account.
All right, so say for example, I opt to collect my money at a remittance agency. Do I have to pay to collect my money?
There may be charges associated with the collection of the money from the remittance agencies. We encourage all eligible applicants to liaise with the remittance agency of choice to understand their fees and how much they will charge. We as TAJ on our portal, on the website, will also be providing the applicants with the information in relation to the relevant fees associated with the remittance companies.
So what should eligible Jamaicans bear in mind when they're going to your portal and when they're going to collect their money?
So eligible applicants should ensure that, one, they are earning less than $3 million for the respective year for NIS contributors, that is 2022, and for self-employed and employed persons, it's year of assessment 2023. They must also ensure that their returns have been filed. For self-employed persons, they must file and pay by August 31st, 2023. And for employed persons, they must ensure that their employer has filed the SO2 by August 31st, 2023.
Well, on that note, Mr. Sinclair, thank you for coming on our program and telling us about the reverse income tax credit.
Thank you, Shaquille. It was my pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of Finance Matters. Remember to follow us on social media at MOF Jamaica and tune in next week as we continue to demystify the economic and fiscal policies and initiatives implemented by the government to empower Jamaicans as we chart a path to Jamaica's economic prosperity.
Up next, how City and Guilds has been facilitating certification in education and career development.
Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with accurate and timely information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm Theodore Henry. This organization is home to renowned vocational and technical programs of learning and apprenticeships, offering assessment, qualification, certification, and digital credentials. They signed a 10-year contract to the Ministry of Education and Youth in November 2019 for the provision of examinations in mathematics, English, customer service, and skills proficiency awards across 12 occupational pathways, and that includes engineering. We are speaking about City and Guilds, and today we have the Chief Business Executive, Dr. Bentley A. Brown, to give us an insight into how this examination body is improving the lives of our Jamaican students. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Brown.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's jump right in to Get the Facts. City and Guilds. Everybody knows the name. I'm not sure everybody knows what it does, though. So give us that overview. What is the City and Guilds? What's its purpose?
Well, I must state that we have been around for 146 years.
All right.
Since 1878. We operate from the UK as a charity, first and foremost, under the British Royal Charter. We operate in over 80 countries worldwide. As far as Dubai, which boasts quite a lot of our educational programs and pathways, the importance is primarily around our vocational approach as it relates to being an examination body internationally. So, you know, within the Jamaican context, you have NCT-VET, which is the national exam body.
Right.
You have CSEC, which is the regional exam body, and we are the international exam body. So our qualifications and programs take you right across the world.
Right.
You mentioned earlier about our contract with the Ministry of Education.
Yes.
We have the skills proficiency. Well, the engineering is a separate program from the skills proficiency awards. So we offer a diploma in engineering, primarily in electrical and electronics and the maintenance technology. So we operate in over 200 high schools locally.
Right.
One of our leading partners as well is the Heart NSTA Trust. Through their respective centers island-wide, offers our programs, they offer our engineering, they offer all the qualifications that we offer through the Ministry of Education. And we do have private centers, with Distinction College being the leading provider within the region. The Jamaican Caribbean representative, well, the Caribbean representative office sits here in Jamaica for the entire region, in which we cover 7 Caribbean islands as well.
Okay.
So the same exams that are sat here in Jamaica, which are dated exams in terms of the math and English, are similar to what is sat as far as South Africa.
Right.
Right. So, and I can share with you that City and Guilds, we sit on the Ofqual British qualification framework. So we are heavy on quality. We're heavy on the process of verification, assessment, to the extent that our assessment unit is based in South Africa.
And that would be pretty necessary, considering that your scope is international.
And practical. So it requires quite a lot of verification and assessment in terms of looking at portfolios, looking at practical assessments. So we have a lot of EQAs here locally who move around, which operates independent of our office.
Right.
So those instructions come directly from South Africa to go in to assess, for example, Mount Alvernia, who does the Skills Proficiency Awards, or a Tarrant High or a Dunoon. So these persons go in and ensure that those standards are maintained. In terms of the math and English, we just this year alone, we had, basically looking at the pass rate, we had a 56% pass rate for math, which really spanned right across the respective high schools in Jamaica and the region in itself. We sort of had a higher average in comparison to the regional exam.
Oh, okay.
And our stage 3 math maps closest to the CSEC math. It is widely accepted in all the tertiary institutions here locally. We have endorsements from more than 12 local entities, government entities, and tertiary institutions. So we're here, and we're here to stay, and we're here to do some work and offer education to the nation.
every student attending Heart and STA Trust under the New Care Initiative will get $15,000 each month to help cover their travel expenses to the Heart School they're attending and get an extra $13,000 each week while they're training.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Lifting the standard of living for the most vulnerable and empowering them through home ownership are just a few of the objectives of the new social housing program. It's a life-changing and transformative experience, as you will see in this next feature.
Everybody's ready? We're going to count to 1 million. 1 million. Wow. This is probably the most fulfilling aspect of my job, being able to see lives transform. I mean, if you ever ask about transformation, moving from living in your car to a house, isn't that transformation? Absolutely.
I was suffering, living into my brother's car, by sleeping in there, get up early morning and exit, and going late at night. He also moved my father out when he gave me that letter and asked him with permission to help me to get a house for me and my last daughter. The bigger one, she ended up having start bounce around at friends and all kind of people. So it wasn't an easy task for us. So we're very grateful of Minister Andrew Onis, our Prime Minister. We have this project going, and to all the team will make it possible.
Firstly, I would like to say thank you to the mighty God for following through with us, ensuring that everything went by smoothly. My situation was a bit different as opposed to my dad. I was actually bouncing around from friends' homes to relatives, and there were nights where I didn't even know who to turn to ask if I could crash there for a night or two. But I would like to thank them all for the support that they have given me throughout this journey. I'm fully grateful. I'm completely happy for the blessing that I currently have. It hasn't been a very easy journey. It's very difficult to worry about the next place where I can crash to sleep, or wondering if my dad is okay mentally or even physically. A situation like this could actually take a big toll on anybody. And protecting my mental health was very difficult in this process. However, in the Lord, I had faith, I had trust, and I just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, so you now have a house.
Thank you very much.
And you're going to now make a home.
Yes.
This is where our journey ends, but only for today. Do join us again tomorrow when we'll bring another informative program. In the meantime, stay connected via our website, gis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at gis.gov.jm. You may also follow us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.